It wasn't the best weather, but Mount Washington is known for its bad weather, and we only had this afternoon to ride the Cog Railway to the top. It was an hour drive from our campground on Route 2 to the station at the base of the mountain. If the timing worked right, we would arrive just before the 1 p.m. train would leave. And we made it just in time to buy the tickets and board the second of 2 trains heading out for the summit. Maybe it was just due to the weather, but we had the car almost all to ourselves. And sit front, back, or where do you want to sit? Okay. Most of the trains making the run up and down the mountain have engines powered by biodiesel. These engines were designed and built in-house with a unique hydrostatic drive that moves the cog on the ascent and slows the descent on the way down. The new biodiesels were first deployed in 2008, and to date 7 have been put into service. They are much more economical and environmentally friendly than their steam predecessors.
This one. We're going to average 25 grade up to 37.4. We're at 2,700 feet. We got to go up to 6,288 feet is the summit height. That tells me a few things. One is you're able to stand up if you choose to. I usually sit down. Also, we're on our max speed. Are you guys okay with this? The speed? This huge velocity we're going at, 5 miles an hour? Okay. You see the little space-age white signage project on the left, by the way? That is a measuring net. We have the National Weather Service station on top of Mount Washington. So every 1,000 feet they have one of these machines that measure the wind speed. So all year round the station on the top, that's the Sherman Adams building. If you want to volunteer some year, you can come up here and volunteer with the Weather Service. So last year we had 172,000 passengers go up to Mount Washington. This is how we do it. We run 6 trains a day. Most of the time the coaches are full. My coach, the first run up here was 70 people. Now look, we've got 12. So how has difference has changed. But it is a cloudy day. Made us keep a few people away. I appreciate you guys' fortitude of it.
With 2 trains heading up and down each hour, they need to have a spot to pass each other. That takes place at mid-station, where the water tank traditionally resupplied the steam engines.
It'd be a dangerous mountain. We are not attached to the ground or the soil. The tracks aren't. The reason why, by the way, they thought Sylvester Marsh was going to fail. They wouldn't allow them to attach anything to the ground. They wanted no remnants of a track system up here. They wanted the mountain pristine. So the highest speed recorded in the world, you guys know where it's at? In the world. Not America, in the world. So 231 is the record. We have it up here. You're more than welcome to stand up and experience what 37 grade feels like while you're sober. An olden days, they had open coach, so the passengers got blankets and they had wood and cold air. Here's a good reference point. You should have an optical illusion. That building is level. Trees are straight up, that building's level. The only thing crooked, you know what the thing is, your mind right now. You're normal if you have that illusion right now. And this Star Jacob's ladder here, we're at 37.4. This is the steeper part of the track. A real person named Jacob who died building these tracks. A working soldier, he fell down, hit his head, and his infamy is the name that's called after him. So you see the Appalachian Trail, there's the Appalachian Trail hut. That's level. That's where the lakes and the clouds start. That's where the Music River starts over there. On my first run, by the way, we could not see any of that. It was all clouded up. So they cleared in 1 hour. How much have changed. We're also in a new climate zone.
Not surprisingly, as we approached the summit, the weather worsened. Fog set in, the winds increased, and the temperatures dropped. The terrain changed as well. The forests were replaced with rocks and shrubs. Only the sturdiest plants could survive this extreme weather. We had about 45 minutes to wander around the summit. As we expected, there was no 360-degree view at the top. The fog was thick and rain came and went. We climbed to the highest point anyway before retreating back inside where it was warm and dry. As the third highest peak in eastern North America, Mount Washington's height is distinctive for the weather it causes. Unlike its higher cousins, it towers over the surrounding terrain, creating weather and alpine conditions that mimic peaks twice its size. We got a bite to eat and then visited the museum in the basement of the visitor center. The weather on the summit rarely cooperates to produce the spectacular views that reach as far as the Atlantic Ocean or over 100 miles in every direction. We experienced this when we visited a few decades before, not realizing how lucky we were. However, the museum offers a display that can show you what you are missing. On a stormy night in April 1934, a team of weather observers recorded the wind speed of 231 miles per hour, a record that still stands for a manned weather station. When our time at the summit was over, we returned to the station to board our train for the descent.
trail system, Jacob's Ladder. He completely stopped and he placed a penny out onto the rock, and he was hoping for some good luck. And as you guys can see, we've all been hoping for a little bit of good luck. We've all thrown pennies. So they start off with about 500 down at the base, and they top off here. They keep going all the way up and back down, and they fill up their way back down as well. They're just guzzling water the entire time. They're also shoveling a lot of coal, almost an entire ton. Not quite a ton, almost a ton, but for the whole trip. So as long as just shoveling coal the entire trip to keep that furnace warm.
The Cog Railway still has 2 steam engines, one of which was running this day. The steam engine can move only at 2 miles per hour and has to be refilled with water from the tower at the mid-station before it can continue its ascent. At the base of the mountain, previous versions of the Cog engine were on display, including the refurbished original pepper sass. Inside the station were exhibits on the Cog Railway history and explanations of how it works. While we didn't have the same views as our first visit, it was still fun to take the trip up to the top again and see how things had changed.